Hey, what's up? Chase here, as always, and today I have something a little different for you. It's not a power ranking, it's something that took a little bit more time and effort, and I'm happy to share it with you. This is the Mick Schumacher problem. Mick Jr. Schumacher, and yes, his middle name is actually Jr., was born March 22nd, 1999, in Switzerland, to mother Karina Schumacher and, of course, and I repeat, 7-time F1 champion and arguably the greatest racing car driver of all time, Michael Schumacher. I feel like everybody who has come to YouTube and clicked on a Formula One video knows who Michael Schumacher is. And in case you don't, I would really recommend checking out Schumacher. It's a documentary by Netflix on Netflix. The heartbreaking story of Michael Schumacher by YouTuber perspective. And finally, here's why Michael Schumacher is a legend off the track too by WTF1. Those are just some of the amazing resources that you can find to give you a bit of a background on the legend of Michael Schumacher. I'm not going to give a comprehensive retrospective on Michael's life and career. This is a video about Mick. It'd be very ironic to make this whole video about Michael when talking about the shadow that his legacy casts over Mick's racing career. Let's talk about something we all know. Essentially, get the elephant out of the room. We all know that Mick's surname and his father's connections brought him a lot of opportunities that wouldn't have regularly been afforded to your everyday average kid. But what a lot of you may not know is when Mick entered the karting world, he actually didn't race under the Schumacher surname. He would race under his mother's maiden name, or Junior, which is his middle name. Mick only really started going by his proper surname in 2015 when he got into Formula 4 with Van Arm's Ford Racing. Mick climbed the ladder to Formula 1 and took the wrong long road there, staying in Formula 3 from 2016 to 2018, having a stint in F2 in 2019 and winning in 2020, and finally graduating to Formula 1 in 2021, where he was paired up with infamous stooge Nikita Mazepin. This led to his 2021 season being fairly hard to judge. He never scored any points, he had 3 retirements, and finished 19th in the drivers' standings at the end of the year. That leads us to the current season. In the 2022 Formula 1 season, Mick isn't exactly setting the world on fire. He scored 12 points and sits in 12th in the Drivers' Constructors' Championship, but he's developed a bit of a nasty crash habit that's leading to quite the repair bill from one of the most cash-strapped teams on the grid in Haas. To the point where team owner Gene Haas even made comments to the Associated Press at a NASCAR Cup race in Las Vegas that makes Mick's future with the team is going to, quote, be decided by Mick, end quote. He also said, quote, I think Mick has a lot of potential, but he costs a fortune, and he's wrecked a lot of cars that cost us a lot of money that we don't have, end quote. Small independent teams like Haas are stretching every dollar they can to stay on the grid, so it's going to be detrimental to Mick's cause if he wants to stay in Formula 1 to not keep crashing cars. Team owner Gene Haas also said that, quote, now if you bring us some points and you're Verstappen and you wreck cars, we'll deal with it. But when you're in the back and you wreck cars, that's very difficult, end quote. So it's very clear what Haas wants from Mick for the final 4 races of the year, and that's for him to score a good amount of points. And that Haas ain't as bad as it used to be. But are these expectations fair? Are they warranted? Or are they unfairly judging him? Well, let's dive into it. Let's first look at his teammate, Kevin Magnussen. Kevin has 1 more retirement than Mick this year, and that's not mentioning the fact that it seems like every race K-Mag is getting black and orange for his front wing. Next, let's talk about each's best finish in 2022. Magnussen's best finish is 5th at Bahrain, and that's only 1 place better than Mick's best finish of 6th in Austria. so not that far off from his teammate's best result. So in that area, they're almost deadlocked. Next up, let's talk about qualifying. K-Mag's best qualifying is 4th in Italy, and he reached Q3 7 times compared to Mick, whose best qualifying is 6th in Canada, and he's reached Q3 only 4 times in 2022. Keep in mind that both of these best qualifying results were obviously boosted by other teams taking penalties, but nonetheless, their qualifying results this season are very, very similar. But I don't really think Kevin Magnussen, his teammate, is really the best comparison for him on the grid, even though they are driving the same cars. I really think a good person to compare Mick to is Yuki Tsunoda. For Yuki's first season in Formula 1, he was in way better machinery, and it passes the eye test and the results test. Yuki finished the season with 32 points to Mick's 0. But Yuki was also crash happy in his rookie year. Yuki binned it 4 times in his rookie season as opposed to Mick's 3. This season though, Yuki's crashed started races twice as much as Mick, as well as being a point behind Mick in the driver's standings. Yuki's a very similar driver with very similar results, but one very different thing. And that thing, Yuki signed an extension with AlphaTauri. Mick Schumacher is still in limbo with Haas at the moment. And personally, that makes me think that maybe Mick is being held to some slightly different standards than other drivers around his age, experience, and ceiling level. And I think it has something to do with the 10 letters that make up his surname. When an organization believes in an athlete, they'll back them no matter what and give them the resources to succeed. Let me give you a little allegory here. I love American football. Josh Allen is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, if not the best quarterback. He plays for the Buffalo Bills. When he was drafted and he played as a rookie, was Josh Allen amazing? No. Josh Allen stunk. But the Bills stuck with him. In his second year, was Josh Allen that great? He was better, but he wasn't amazing. But the Bills stuck with him because they believed in him. In his third year, Josh Allen was voted to the NFL's equivalent of an all-star game, the Pro Bowl, and balled out. And he did that and was able to do that because the Buffalo Bills believed in him. The next year, he got even better and took them deeper into the playoffs. And now, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL on one of the best teams in the NFL. And they're there because the team and the organization believed in him. And I think Haas just needs to believe a little bit more in Mick Schumacher. I think the kid has chances to be one of the better drivers on the grid. I don't think he'll be able to really mimic what his father did. Nobody really can. But I just think they're giving up on him too soon and not giving him an opportunity. The guys they want to replace him with aren't names that are really lighting the world on fire. Nico Hülkenberg and Antonio Giovinazzi, those aren't really the guys that I would have over Mick Schumacher. I think Mick has a higher ceiling, but that's just what I think. I would love to know what you guys think about this and your thoughts on Mick and his situation in the comment section down below. While you're down there, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button if you liked what you saw here, and to feed those YouTube algorithm gods, hit that subscribe button if you liked what you saw. It really helped me out, and I appreciate all of you. We're trying to get to 1,000, and only you can make that happen by hitting that sub button, so please do so. And until next time, I've been your host, Chase, and I'll see you later.